Question number 5, Bill Aitken.
To ask the Scottish Executive when it last met Strathclyde Partnership for Transport and what issues were discussed.
Stuart Stevenson.
Ministers and officials meet with Strathclyde Partnership for Transport on a regular basis to discuss transport issues across Glasgow and the west of Scotland. I most recently met SPT when I was pleased to launch the partnership's hybrid bus-based mobile travel advice centre outside the Scottish Parliament on the 8th of December last year.
Aitken.
I am obliged for that response. The SPT's decision to axe the short ferry crossing between Yoker and Renfrew is understandable in light of the dire financial conditions in which the Labour government has imposed upon us all. Nonetheless, it does sadden me that this popular service, which has been with us for over 200 years, is falling by the wayside, and this is also likely to cause considerable hardship to those who use this ferry for commuting purposes for work. Could the Minister therefore give me an assurance that every possible avenue has been or will be explored with SPT prior to the final withdrawal of this route in 2 months' time?
The member makes a good point that Labour's cuts are impacting the commuting arrangements of many people who rely on that ferry. Just before the board meeting at which this subject was discussed, SPT wrote to our Director of Transport highlighting some of the issues. We are continuing in discussion with SPT, but I do make the general point that, of course, SPT and councils across Scotland have seen increases in their funding that are substantially above the increase, the absence of one which the Scottish Government has. But we will continue to discuss that matter in a positive way.
Charlie Gordon.
Isn't it the case that SPT's budget for next year, which is adduced as the reason for the cut in the ferry service, is standstill in cash terms and therefore a cut in real terms, and that's the responsibility, partially, of the Scottish Government?
Minister.
SPT, like regional transport partnerships across Scotland, of course, rely on subventions from local authorities. In the case of SPT, there is direct money from the Scottish Government, but in any event, we are putting record investment into transport across Scotland, and local authorities are getting increased sums of money.